Well, it's gone. Yeah, here we are back messing with the Kawasaki 360. You can see right there. Yeah, I got her pulled out. And here it is. I got this pulled off. Because you can see the bolts are taken out. I pulled this off. I don't know if I need that off or yet. We'll see. So now what I'm going to do, we're taking this all off of here. We got this, all these bolts. Oops. All these bolts to take off. And then there's ones on the other side. There. And I think there'll be some over here. I don't see any. No, I don't see any. We'll check behind here to make sure. But there we are, taking her off little bit by little bit. Whoops, you gotta watch that thing. That's your oil to your top. This thing here is the oil that goes to the top to keep your, and let's put this in here. So I'm trying to put the bolts back here where they go. I'm trying that. Most of them I just throw them in a can. And then you're like, okay, which ones go where? I might end up throwing them in a can. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to start. Alright. Well, too much for the drill. So I'm going to have to break them loose. So I'll bring it back on when we get to close up pulling this whole thing off of here. You see all the bolts I got to take off. That might just be boring to watch that. So I'll bring you on when we get to that point. Alright. Remember we had a break off? There it is. So it looks like there might be enough on that so I can get that off of there. Get some vice grips on there and try that. Okay, we got the starter off. Now, got these all loosened up. We can start zipping these out. Those I'm just throwing in the can. Just like, I ain't putting those back in. Okay, I think I got them all. I gotta make sure that all stays together. That was ground. All right. Let's let's pull all these out. Whoops. Make sure they get in there. You don't want to be hunting them for them later. And it was there to, you know. Because I'll bring you back on here. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see about this one. I didn't think so. That's just to hold that on. That ain't nothing. Alright, one thing I gotta do. Nothing's coming off until this comes off. I don't know, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. This has got to come off. We got stuff to come off in there. So I'm going to pause, get the puller, and get that all off before I get all happy on taking all that off. I'll bring it back. Alright, on this puller, you got to put this back in. Put your nut, the bolt back in here. You gotta run this out far enough that you can get this on good. And then you just, you can hold this and crank this down. You can use an impact. There. Let me show you. Let's see if we can do this. You don't have to use vice grips. All I was going to do is just sort of hold on by itself if it's big enough. There it is. And then you just put this on here and you'll pop it off. And I'll have to show that later when I get the tripod set up. Alright, got that pulled off. Just use the impact on it. So there's that. And then you got this starter gear. This will come off. I like to put this back. Oops. Bummer. Getting junk all over it. Tony getting crud all over it. Something like that. Alright. Of course we know the chain must come off. Chain in there. I think that one, maybe that one. Whoops, sorry guys. You got that one, I think that one. We'll see those. This probably goes through. I don't think that does. I don't think that does. I don't know what's behind that. So what we'll try to do here is I'm going to try to take those off first. And see what comes off. And see if it'll start separating. So I'll see. That's my ground. See if I can start separating it. If not, then I'll get into this stuff. That might be something. So I'm going to have to check on it and see what's going on here. That might be something. See, it ain't working. Too much. Okay, I got to get 2 hands and use a ratchet to bring it back on. Alright, people. Well, sorry I didn't bring it along, but I'll show you what I did. I got, this is the good one. I got it in. I got this one punched out. Now, what I did was, is I turned this, and I just hit this side with the hammer. Because I didn't care about messing this up. This is no good anyway. So I hit that with the hammer to drive it out, and drive it out. It worked pretty good. Now going back in was a little more difficult because you have to, you kind of get this, you know, set in there and then tap it in. So what I had to do was, which I don't know if it's a good idea, I put this in, screw it all the way down to here, and as you can see, I've been beating on it. I'll just take the grinder to that. See how it's looped over there. I'll just take the grinder and that makes that so you know the socket will fit on there. So that's what I put on there, and then I tapped it in slowly but surely. Now when you do that, you got to make sure, if you can see it, see the dots down there, see the big dot? See the big dot and 2 little dots right there? Those have got to line up. That's with the counterbalance here. So you got to make sure that's lined up, the big dot with the 2 little dots on the cam. And just drive it on in. Now, it's ready to put the outside on. So I'll put silicone all the way around this, and then I'll slip it back on. Now you see there's shim here. This one had a shim there. Now I gotta check to make sure there's not a shim in there for that one. This one's got a shim. So here's this. I didn't see no shim. If you look in there, I don't see no shim. So I don't think that one had a shim. But I better look around. I don't see a shim in there. Okay. So maybe it didn't have one, but I should have had a better spot to hold this thing than where I had it, because you know all it takes is something to drop down and you don't see it, and then you won't have no shim. But I don't see. It's a mess. Any shim in here? Nope. There's no shim around here. So I just clean all this off, and it's ready to go back on there. Of course, you got to kind of, you know, have to move it around because you got to line this. This is no problem, but line this up, this up, this up, this up, and this up, and put it on there. So, and then I put like that black silicone I have on there. That'll seal it up. Clean out whatever junk you see. So, that's what we're at here now. I hope you can hear this. So, there's got the shim here, no shim, a shim there that you gotta look at. This didn't have nothing. Nope, I don't see nothing here either. So, no, so we're good to go. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna put silicone all the way around that. Clean this off, and I need to make sure this is cleaned off. You know, get the junk off of it. And then we're ready to go back together. And I'll show you putting it all back together. So it's pretty simple. It's just got these gears. If you leave those alone, you won't have no issue. So when I get it all put back on there, I can't hold it. You got to move it in there, make sure all these, because these move a little bit. So to get everything in there, and then you push it. So it should go together easy. If it goes together hard, then something's binding. So you got to keep an eye on all that when you're putting it together. All right, now we're gonna get that thing on there. Another thing I want to show you is, see that ball down in there in the spring? See it? That's got to come. Oh, see it? Oh, just fell in there. You got to take that out before you try to put it back in. I was just looking at it and I was like, ooh, that ain't gonna work. So that's what it is. We're gonna set that right there. Now you gotta fish that ball out of there. Okay, we gotta get that ball out of there. There it is. We're gonna leave that attached to that. That won't get lost. Okay, now, oh, there's something else back in there. Hold on a second. I see something else. See him back in there? Something small. I don't know what that is, but... Oh, okay. Okay, that's nothing. That's just a indicator on the end there, so no big deal. Alright. So I'm going to try to put some silicone on this and get this thing together. Alright guys, girls, what I want to show you here. Behind here is the oil pump. You'll need to pull these screws off and pull that oil pump apart before you put this together, because there's a certain groove it's got to go in. I should have showed you, but I was trying to get this accomplished. And so pull this off, pull the oil pump apart, it'll slide right together. And I started with putting the big screws in right there. There's one, this one, and then there's this one here are ones that hold it together. And these are pretty obvious out here. So I just want to show you that to let you know that you need to pull this oil pump before you do that. So now I'm about ready to start assembling this thing back together. I'm going to clean some of the junk out of here. And this thing's ready to assemble back together. It's all in there, all ready to go. So we'll get it. So I'll bring you back on when we start assembling it and putting it back together, and we'll put her back in the bike. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to end this section. This is going to be engine redo part 1. And then the next one will be part 2, where we start putting it back together, because this is going to be a long video. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Hey, subscribe, push the bell, get notifications. Like I said, you never know what you're going to see. I do a lot of ATV. I've done some other projects too, but nothing really to take videos of. Just putting a floor in a place. So when we get back to, I get to something interesting, I like to bring you guys along and show you. And these really help people. I've gotten a lot of people, you know, messaging me, asking me questions. I do the best of my ability to answer them. I'm not a professional, but I have messed around with a lot of these bikes, and I know a few things. So, hey, keep the comments coming. I'll do my best to answer them. And, hey, come along. I'll see y'all later, and thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day. Take care.